Monday. Thank you for joining me and Shanette. And today we have up on the plate, we have artificial intelligence is reshaping Hollywood, cryptocurrency and Hollywood finances. Okay, all right, cryptocurrency and the blockchain coming to Hollywood, y'all. Any worthy YouTube shows. So now any worthy YouTube shows, y'all. TikTok could be next. It could be a bunch of them. And last but not least, we have the Society of Cinematographers gets a new president. Let's jump right in. Are you gonna go first?
I'm gonna just say, if you're watching, subscribe. But you go ahead and go first. I think you got some real good information, about that that cryptocurrency, or which one you want to give us first. I think you should go ahead
Uh,
and set
You
this
want to do the
segment.
crypto? All right, yeah. So since people love money, we're gonna jump off with the cryptocurrency. So, all right, cryptocurrency and financing and entertainment. Tokens. So this is about tokenized assets and NFTs. And if you guys don't know what they are, please look them up. They're very important for the future. So the entertainment industry is leveraging blockchain technology to create new revenue streams through tokenized assets and non-fungible tokens. That's what NFTs are. These digital assets allow for unique ownership experiences and have become a significant part of fan engagement strategies. Now, Tory Lanez, despite everything that happened to him, right before he went to jail, I think he made his album into an NFT and then he sold it for $1. And I think he made 1 million within the first day. Like he killed it with the NFTs. So if y'all artists out there, I think that eventually we'll be able to, you can pretty much make anything into an NFT, especially if it's something that you can create. How do you selling it in an NFT? That's a little tougher. But if you have 1 million followers and you do what Troy Lance did, there's no middleman, and you're giving them part ownership of it. So if you and I did an NFT, the people that we, since it's non-fungible means that you can't change anything. If whatever parameters we set in the NFT, and we say that, hey, whoever joins in, you get X%, that is through perpetuity. That's forever. You are connected to it forever. They can't take it away. The only way that you could, you may be able to sign it away from yourself, but is if you're attached to the original,
That's it.
you pass down through all your generations until it's given up. So um, now we get to keep our IP for all perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? That goes through our
NFTs aren't
family
too
line.
bad. NFTs aren't too
Oh, NFTs are a beautiful thing for an artist. So if you are creating something, then get into the NFTs, especially if you're doing like art. But I do believe that it's going to spill over into the actors and all of that. Hey, thank you for the 13 people that saw, 14 people that saw. Please hit the like
bad.
and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 300. We just made a milestone of 100. Thank you. Right now, we're talking about how NFTs is changing Hollywood finances. So,
Absolutely.
hello, thank you for joining us. But if you guys have any comments, are you familiar with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and tokenized assets? So this is coming. That cryptocurrency, the crypto technology, and blockchain. It's here. That's where our finances are going. So we got to kind of stay on top of that. But yeah, yeah. So with the unique ownership, again, if you can afford to do the NFTs, then you hold on to it. If it's your NFT, you make the contract. That's
Hmm.
beautiful. And it's on a public
Exactly.
ledger. For the blockchain, it's a public ledger. So again, you can't fund it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
stay
the
with the
best
NFTs.
places, yeah, the best places to sell them are to your followers, to your people. Those are your supporters, the ones that, supporting you the most. So, yeah. And I'm sure there are other, probably, other different markets for them as well. But I feel like since they're so new, most of the people that are like truly benefiting are like the stars, just because,
Yes.
they're widely, known and popular. But like I said, if you have a large following, your people. You market your
Uh,
stuff to your people. They're your supporters. So you take care of them, they take care of you.
well, content creators have a little bit of an advantage here. So content creators have already figured out the financial part. They've already done that. They have tapped into the ecosystem. They're making their money. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's tougher for actors because we're always looking for where our finances are going to be coming from. So
Mm.
it's much tougher. But the content creators have a little bit of an advantage, so they can pay attention to other things. Like they've already built that community, right? So if you've already
Absolutely.
built your community, you can start to sell to your community. Like um, actors, even popular actors, still don't really engage. Like they may have people who they hire to engage, but
Hmm.
the content creators don't have that luxury to hire anybody, especially if they're still building it. So they have to engage with their audience on a more personable level, you know.
Hmm.
So when you DM them, they DM you back because you are their bloodline, you know.
That's what being a content creator is about, is that, direct connection to, your audience, and then you grow and they still have that direct connection. But yeah, I don't know if I would ever buy a non-fungible token, but I would create one though. What about you? Would you ever buy one, or would you create one?
Hell
Would you buy
yeah.
one?
It's an investment. It's just like anything else. It's like a painting, or if you think that, just think about it. It's like real estate, right? If you invest, even if you invest partially into it, if it makes money, you make money with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you lose money, you lost what you invested. So let's say
Yeah.
that somebody wanted $1,000, right? You lost 1,000, cool, you can live with that. But let's say that turned into $10,000 now because of that, and that's forever. You make money forever with that thing.
Every
You,
time
you know,
somebody buys it, right? Every
yeah.
time
Every
somebody
time
uses it.
transit, or if it's licensed, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So my best friend is an R&B singer, and back in the day when he used to get them royalty checks, he'd be down to his last dime. All of a sudden, checks coming in because they played some Spike Lee movie somewhere, and they played, the soundtracks, or he did the Wood
Yeah.
soundtrack, So all of a sudden, I'm not lying. Almost every single time, he's like, "Man, I don't even know where I'm gonna eat." Boom, checks just start popping in.
Yeah.
So, that's why it was so important for us to keep our residual pay. And that's why the buyouts hurt us so much because
Mm-hmm.
every 13 weeks we would be in a cycle of getting checks,
Man.
which, to me, rightfully so, your product is making money off of what I'm bringing to it. Just give me a little cut. I ain't asking for the whole thing. Give me a
Yeah.
little cut.
But everyone should make money from it.
Yes,
Everyone
yes,
contribute. Everyone should make money. Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
yeah. On a percentage too. Like, don't buy me out because if you buy me out and you plan this shit for 5 years, that kills my career. This is why we get paid in 13. This is why we get paid every 13 months. It's
Exactly.
because if you're still playing this shit after 13 months, now I can't work because I'm a spokesperson for you now. You feel what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if I'm a spokesperson for you, you need to pay me spokesperson money,
Yeah.
or you need to give me some type of residual pay for this shit. And so
Because
that's why I don't do buyouts.
yeah, because that's the show could conflict with another, product or brand or show, and then they're still running it. You're not even making money. They just still running it. You can't do this. You can't do that. It breaks it.
Yep.
You're like, man, you missing out on something. Yeah, I get it. But it's a sticky business, y'all. It's a sticky
Yeah.
business.
I had a
But look at
student,
this.
just real quick, I had a student of mine, all over these billboards, had all these commercials. The shit was like 5 years old, and he could not work. He couldn't work for 2 years. He just couldn't work. He was like, no one will hire me because I look like I'm the representation of all of these products that they paid me a few bucks for. I
Yeah,
did these commercials 5 years ago. They're still showing it. So, before actors, just before you jump into those situations, please know the pros and the cons. That
yeah,
if you're bought out through all perpetuity, they can use your image and likeness, and they can do it. They could play your joint for a million times in a row if they want. They don't care about your career. So you care about your career. All right, moving right along.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, y'all go to Amazon. Uh, and grab our books, and then also make sure you subscribe. But yes, and we're gonna move on to another article real quick. So did y'all know it's Hot Topics Monday? It's Hot Topics Monday, and this is a really hot topic. Did y'all know that Mandy Walker was just recently elected the president of the Society of Cinematographers? She's the
All
first
right.
female, first woman to become the president of the Society of Cinematographers. Now, we have been making all kinds of history, women, because we are finally, getting recognized, and a lot more of us are, getting behind the camera, which is wonderful. So, yeah, back to Mandy Walker, the 48th president of the American Society of Cinematographers. And let me see. She received back in 2023. She received a. She was actually the first woman to receive an American Society of Cinematographers award for her work in Elvis in 2023.
Oh
So she was
wow.
the first woman to receive to receive an ASC award for her work in Elvis in 2023. And now fast forward 2025, she's the 48th elected president for the Cinematographers Society. I think that is kind of cool. Um, she gave a nice little speech, thanking everybody. She's humbled and excited for the job. But yeah, I think I think that's pretty cool. I don't have too much else to say about that, but I think that is pretty cool. She's worked on a million different things too. She's had quite a few projects that were Academy Award nominated, like Snow White and Mulan, Hidden Figures. So
Wow.
she has a really nice resume. Yeah, she has a really nice resume. So yeah, so congrats to her.
Yeah,
Congrats.
actually, um, what I like is the breaking of the barriers because stories only told from one perspective, has a very short expiration date as far as I'm concerned. So the ability to be able to have a different kind of mind in there, I think makes a big difference. And I think that once you break a barrier, then the floodgate of talent, because we need new talent. Yeah, and if you
Mhm.
just keep things at whatever level it is, it will never really be able to grow. So hopefully, this is a move of growth and just opportunities for people of all genders, races, and colors to go out and pursue their dreams of being an entertainer or to whatever aspect of it. So kudos,
Mhm.
kudos, kudos.
Absolutely. So yeah, congrats to her. And let me see what else we got here. So we've been talking about content creators and YouTube. So the Emmy Awards, ever since 2016, YouTube content creators have been eligible for Emmy Awards since 2016. Now this is 2025. So since 2016, they've been eligible. But if you notice, you haven't heard like a whole lot. You haven't seen like a lot of advertisements. It's not really, spoken about quite often. But now they're getting ready to change that. So now these YouTube stars have made a big case on why their shows are Emmy worthy and how it's the future. So they finally put a campaign together. Now they're campaigning like politicians, y'all. They are campaigning like politicians. They're putting videos together. They're going around giving interviews, and they are letting people know that their shows on YouTube are Emmy worthy. Their performances on YouTube Emmy worthy. So these content creators said, "Listen, we got something to say, and we will not be ignored anymore." So that's what's going on. I'm like, okay. Have you heard
All
about that,
right.
Marlon? You hear about
No,
that?
I
So,
I just heard
but you're
about
not
it. Just
surprised, though, right? But not
no,
surprised. Yeah.
no. I mean, if you think about it, these were content creators was getting picked up by the big boys anyway. So they were putting out product that was actually worthy of being Emmy or being nominated across the board. So I think what they're probably experiencing is that there's a whole nother system behind the Emmys. You know, just like we figured out a few weeks ago that the people on the Academy Awards, half of them was they judging on movies that they didn't even see. So you're talking about a category, yeah, that category is there, but that's not a category that is worthy enough to actually bring enough tension to make a lot of money for them. So they're
Hmm.
not going to do it. But now I bet you within the next 2 or 3 years, with all of the deals that are being made with content creators, what we're going to start to see is that being pushed up as a priority because that's where the streams their audience is within the content creators anyway. That's where YouTube's audience is. That's how YouTube makes their money, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's looking for its spot in there. And then what happens is, remember, HBO had to do the same thing. And it looked like, by the time they got up in there, they was like, Omar, oh, here comes HBO. They
Yeah.
coming with that heat again. Look, HBO killed that shit for 20 years, almost straight. HBO had no competition until Netflix.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
competition until Netflix. So you imagine from the 80s all the way up through 2000, whatever, before Netflix really kicked in, HBO ran it. And, so that's what we're looking at. We're just looking at a changing of the guard. We're looking at
Mhm.
people, content creators being the new HBOs and the new Netflix and things like that. So, way to go, content creators. We welcome you to the acting family. You guys are actors. Yes, Tracy, absolutely. Fantastic actress there. Y'all need to check her out. Stop playing with Tracy Lauren. Check her page out. Money as
What's up,
hell.
crazy?
Um, so yeah, guys. So be looking to expand, who we are as artists. Like we have to start looking at a bigger picture that involves um, thinking about our careers outside of what we know as normal. And I'm gonna say anything
Absolutely.
2020, all that shit don't matter no more. If you're doing 2020 shit, you're left behind. Please jump up into the new. Please jump up into
Absolutely.
the new. At least
Yeah.
just get to know chat. Just
Well,
start somewhere.
we've been telling people this for a while. If you watch the show, we're constantly telling you that you gotta look to the future. You know, you gotta stay up to date. I don't know if y'all hear
Yep.
came on yet.
Yep.
But anyway, listen, y'all, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So you have not hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. And listen, we got books out there. Go ahead, tell them about the book, Mom. What we got over here? What we got on
Well,
Amazon for the people? We doing this for y'all.
yes,
We doing
we have. This is the Actors Weekly Planner, and what this book is, it's something to help you get your life together. I keep saying that, but it is true. It's written by
this.
actors over there for actors right here. And it is basically, we have trackers in there. She has show trackers, she has habit trackers, journals, things that keep you all in order, addressing your spirituality, meditation, like everything that actors need. So this is not just a regular planner. This is not what you're going to find over in Office Max or whatever. So this is for us, by us. Pick that up, get your life together. And just real quick,
Absolutely.
this is the Actors Global Act Handbook. It is a concise acting techniques for the resilient artist. Basically, this is your companion, your sidekick for when you go to auditions, when you're preparing for your monologues or preparing for a scene. This is what you need. It helps you create a character from the character's body, the mind, and the spirit, connecting everything to make you a very powerful actor. Powerful. Don't get it twisted. All right,
Absolutely. All
back into
right.
the hot
So
topics. We're
back to
gonna
the
pull
hot
the
topics, y'all. Back
yes,
to the hot topics. What you
we're gonna
got pulling in
pull
the boot?
pull the
What you
caboose
got?
in. All right, so this is AI generated content. So Google's unveiling of VO3 at I/O 2025 has introduced a groundbreaking AI driven video generation technology capable of creating high quality videos from simple text and image prompts. This innovation promises to revolutionize filmmaking by streamlining production processes and expanding creative capabilities. So, We just mentioned this before. We have episodes where we talked about this maybe last year, or you know,
Oh, really?
yeah, if you go back and check all of that back in the day, we already spoke about this. So in essence, um, with AI, so it streamlines the like pre-production, let's say, right? So if you wanted to do storyboards, all you needed to do was put the prompt in, and you could have not only a storyboard, but it would give you your concept. So it really took off, and I forget the guy's name. He's been in the space for a while now, and I think that he's one of the newer people to be in that space to be an advisor. But he was trying to make, I think he's like a mix of black, and he was trying to bring up some of the older slave stories out of the swamps of Louisiana, I believe. Don't quote me on
Mhm.
that, but he could not get the concept out. All of the drawing and all of that, he couldn't get it, and he didn't have the budget to film it. So he did an AI prompt, and it prompted out this little movie. It was just stunning. It was
Wow.
beautiful. I mean, this guy is a master. Like, if you see his work in the digital space, he is known. Like, he's a master. But he created that, and this was his pitch. I remember him saying, I'm sorry I don't have his name. We're gonna mention this guy again, though. Trust me,
Yeah,
he'll
listen,
come
why
back
don't you
up in
give
the
us the
fray.
name on Wednesday, Marlon? Give us the name on Wednesday. So if
Yes,
y'all tune in tonight, tune in on Wednesday. Where we got What the
yes.
Hell Wednesdays, and he'll give you the name, a little bit of backstory about this guy, because I don't know who he is either. So I want to know.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. So maybe somebody who's listening does. So anyway, fast forwarding from that, what he did was when he was able to prove that, like not only show his proof of concept, but the proof of concept that AI could take care of that. So in essence, what ended up happening was they stepped back and said, "Well, damn, we don't need location scouts anymore. So all your location scouts, like a lot of the industry that you would need people for." Now it's you don't need the people so much anymore. But what he was saying was, listen, we still want to film, we want to make real films. But when I go on my pitch deck or when I go and present this as something that I want to be filmed, I don't have to waste $20,000 to shoot my pilot or my promo, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what they're
Mhm.
talking about, eliminating that process. But with that, you have people that say, well, hell, I'm going to make the whole movie all AI
Exactly.
generated.
What's to stop
So
people from doing that? Of course,
it's
people
not.
gotta do that. It's cost effective. It's
Yes,
cost effective.
yes.
So why not? Yeah.
Um, but I think what would end up happening is I do believe that there are people who still love the whole interaction of human people.
Of
And,
course.
you'll feel that the AI doesn't necessarily have the soul. It will have an entertainment value, but the soul of a person is just something that can't be duplicated. So I do believe that live performances will have a place, but it's like reality TV. Like, it's not going to kill it. It's not going to kill the industry. People thought that reality TV was going to kill the industry, and it didn't. You just
No.
have another section. That's
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. You
You
got
know?
more for people to watch and choose from. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of people
So
in this world.
embrace it.
So everybody likes different things. Some people love it, some people don't. But yeah, it's just another, you know, something else to watch. Yeah.
But it's something else for, look, if you're an entertainer, right? You got a little name for yourself. You can put together your own AI movies,
Exactly.
and use your voice. Like, you don't have to worry about the cloning thing. So if you're somebody that's popular, use your voice, and
Or
people
you
will
just
watch
have
it
nice
because it's
voice.
your voice.
You know? Or
Oh,
you
what's
just
that?
want to do it. Like you just have options. That's the thing.
Yes,
You just
yes,
have so many more options. You can do
yes.
whatever you really want to do. So I don't know. That's pretty cool. That's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Well, yeah, we ain't here long, y'all. So that's it for real, for real, for real. That's
Listen,
it.
y'all.
So yeah.
This Monday hot topics, right? We coming to y'all on Monday for hot topics, Wednesday for what the hell Wednesdays, and then Fridays fun facts Fridays because we'll be giving you some little bit of news, little bit of fun facts, things you just didn't know. But
And a
yeah,
whole lot of fun.
yeah, whole
Whole
lot
lot of
of
fun. All right. Anyway, we out of here, y'all. All
See
right.
y'all
Be
Wednesday.
resilient. Be great. Peace.